Welcome to 0 to 60.
I'm Matt McChesney. I am the owner and operator of 6-0 Football Academy and 6-0 Equipment. Played at the University of Colorado from 2004. 6 years in the National Football League on both sides of football.
I'm Matt McChesney. This is 0 to 60. That is Coach Prime. We are at the University of Colorado. Brother, thank you so much.
All right. 0 to 60. We're rolling.
Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is 0 to 60 on the Believe Network, also on YouTube, live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 p.m. I'm your host, Matt McChesney. My man Bailey's on the ones and the twos. Bet Online is our main sponsor. They pay the bills at this bitch, so let's get them taken care of, and we're rolling.
And we're rolling here on this fine Friday. Huge show. And this show is brought to you by Bet Online. Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, Bet Online is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, Bet Online continues to be your number one betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, Bet Online has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. Bet Online, the game starts here, and we roll. Matt, happy Friday. How you feeling? We got a huge show ahead of us.
Man, I feel great. We were going to do like 3 different shows today. And then all of a sudden, Andre Gurode texted me back and said he could do the show, and he's on at 1:30, so that's what we're doing. So we got a lot to talk about. I'd imagine people will start filing in here as they see it on social media and whatnot. But a big show, the O-line coach at the University of Colorado, my former teammate, and 12-year pro, 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, and personally a great friend and a brother of mine, obviously, but the best offensive lineman, hands down, I've ever played against at the college or professional level. And that, you know, I'm really excited to have him back in Colorado at home. There's the O-line coach. Honestly, I don't know why they didn't do this last year. I like Coach Lodeholt and I commend him for his duty, but he left after a year, and Dre was a candidate last year as well. So we'll talk to him about all that. We'll talk to him about his experience in the NFL, obviously, some of the ups and the downs. We'll talk to him about the XFL, which is about to kick off, because he was the O-line coach for the Brahmas in San Antonio in that league, and I'm really excited about the XFL. Actually, it's more football, and last year I thought that they really did a good job. So, you know, it'll be, see how entertaining it is this year. You know, last chance you pretty much is the XFL now. And look, man, it's just going to be a kick-ass show. So, Bailey, let's fucking roll and see what we can see here, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we get into it, Matt, I believe you have a camp going on with Derek Wolf that you want to shed some light on here. Untamed Savage Trench Camp. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's all O-line, D-line, and pass rushers. It's going to be April 5th and 6th. Over at Shea, where we play our home games at Mount Vista. You know, all the information's right there. It's invite only, but really, if you reach out and you want to come to the camp, it's going to be pretty hard for me to say no to you. Derek Wolf, another great friend of mine, is going to be running the camp with me. He does the, you know, Wolf Untamed podcast, and obviously this 6-0 Savage shit right here, bro. So we comboed this fucking synergy bitch, and he's going to run the defense and the D-line, and he'll have some celebrity coaches and guest guys out there, and I'm going to run the O-line, and I got some celebrity coaches and guys coming out, and a bunch of college coaches with eyes on, and everything's going to get filmed, and we're going to have a bunch of vendors there and folks from around the community that want to give back, and the best players in the fucking state are going to be there. Trying to get Big Breck to come back from Florida to do it, and we're inviting from all over the country. I've been sending invites out like crazy, so this is truly an investment in your future players, not only from a recruiting standpoint, from a development standpoint. So you got that bad motherfucker Derek Wolf, getting the Predators ready on defense, come after us. And shit, you know me, we're going to build a motherfucking wall and go after his ass too for 2 straight days. So we got youth groups from 5th grade to 8th grade. And then we've got the high school guys from 9 to 12. And look, if there's some of the freaks that are 8th graders that need to move up, we'll move them up on the 2nd day. And there'll be a nice little cherry on top for them. So make sure you check it out, April 5th and 6th. All the information for our SVP is at the bottom. And it is truly going to be a great experience for the kids, great experience for the parents from a recruiting standpoint. We've got guys ready, and it's going to be fucking wartime at Shea. So check it out, the Untamed Savage Trich Camp, and get your mind right, because there's no pencil next allowed, homie. Sorry, there's no pencil next allowed today. If your hand doesn't go in the dirt and you don't hit the quarterback, you can't come. We don't need see, this is the best part about this camp is I don't need a football to play.
Mm-hmm.
The ball, fuck the ball. Let's go play.
Exactly.
This is straight savage predator shit. I can't fucking wait.
Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a camp for sure. Trench camp, Untamed Savage Trench Camp.
Ooh,
Big Matt and Derek Wolf.
Derek, I'm coming after your guys, dog. You better get those motherfuckers ready.
Absolutely. Well, before our special guest joins us here in about 25 minutes, Matt, we're going to talk some NFL and some stories across college football here. But first, I got to ask you, what's going on with the Cincinnati Bengals? We talked about them tagging T. Higgins for a second time. Now they allow Trey Henderson to seek a trade, or he requested a trade, so to speak. But Matt, we've talked about Bengals ownership and how cheap they are, and blah 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 blah. And now here we are with this. What's going on in Cincinnati?
I'm sorry, folks. I'm still a little under the weather. The Bengals are such a dumpster fire, and they have so much talent. Like, why can't the Jets be this much of a dumpster fire with this much talent and these problems? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is strictly because Mike Brown and his family are so fucking cheap. They are the corner cutters of cutting corners, dog. They are terrible, Bailey. Awful. And it's too bad. Because honestly, let's be real. If Joe Burrow was on the trade market, I don't know what you could get for him, but it would be a fucking lot.
It would be a lot for sure.
I mean, I don't know if it's like 5 first-round picks in a fucking row or something, but it
would have to be that.
And the starting quarterback from a good team. And how many teams in the NFL really wouldn't trade for Joe Burrow? Like, that's a very short list. What quarterback would you not give up to get ice? Who? Like, would you take Joe Burrow over Josh Allen in Buffalo?
Oh, that's tough.
Would you take
Lamar? Yes, I would definitely over Lamar. I've said this 1,000 times.
Lamar and Josh Allen, the last two MVPs, they're off the board. Take him over Stafford. Yep. Take him over Jalen Hurts.
Yes, and Stafford is the one where I pause on. Stafford's the one where I pause on.
Yeah,
Stafford beat Burrow, so I would have to take Stafford in that sense.
You would take Stafford over Burrow for the future?
Stafford beat Burrow.
For the future, Bailey.
Okay, if you're talking future Burrow, but let's be real.
We're talking time out.
That's one of the teams that wouldn't go.
Time out, Bailey. Time out. I got to call you on this. We're talking about the future, not the past. You would absolutely trade fucking Joe Burrow for Matt Stafford and multiple first-round picks, especially if Jamar Chase is a fucking free agent in 2025 and you can sign him in LA as well. I don't know if there's a quarterback in the NFL you wouldn't trade for him. How about Mahomes? I don't know how you could, but
Burrow owns Mahomes.
It has to be had. No, he beats everyone.
Take Burrow over Mahomes.
But that's my thing. Joe beats everybody. He's better than everyone on this shitty team with no defense that won't pay his receivers. All the offensive guys are disgruntled. Nobody fucking gives full effort because they know Mike Brown's a lazy piece of shit. T. Higgins is fucking franchised twice. They won't pay the pass rusher. They won't extend Jamar Chase, and they lowball him. If I'm Joe Burrow, I'm talking to Jamar behind closed doors and going, okay, you're a free agent after this. I think it's after this year. He's unrestricted. Don't sign the fucking contract extension, and I'm going to sit out and I'm demand a trade. Where you want to go?
Oh man,
I would give up. I know Bo Nix is awesome in Denver. I would give up Bo Nix and Sean Payton for Joe Burrow.
You are okay. Yeah.
How could you?
I mean, yeah. Obviously, if that was a scenario, I just don't see that happening, and I just think that
why would you want to stay in Cincinnati if you're Joe Burrow, bro?
isn't he? He's from Ohio.
I don't give a fuck. It's about money and opportunity to win. They do not support him at all. They're cheap as fuck. They don't pay his players. It's an awful situation. Let's be real. He elevates that team. Without Joe Burrow on that roster, they're the Browns. They're terrible.
Oh, man, yeah. I don't think he wants to break up the team, though. I really don't. And I think
the team's broken. Hendricks is leaving. T. Higgins doesn't want to be there and is going to sit out. You can't franchise tag him twice. He's going to sit. Jamar Chase isn't going to sign an extension. They're all gone anyway. He's going to be the only one left. If I'm Joe Burrow, I'm fucking using my leverage and demanding a trade. You either sign my guys and make the team better so I can win a Super Bowl in my prime, or I'm fucking out. How much do you think the Cowboys would give up to get Joe Burrow? How much, like anybody, bro? Just think about the 49ers with Joe Burrow on their roster. It's just I
believe you.
I'm in the playoffs because they're dog shit. They don't build around him.
Well, let's see how they handle this. Honestly, I don't. This is such a dumpster fire as you mentioned, but let's see if they could figure it out. Hendrickson, they're going to trade, I guess. So I don't know. I see they're wanting like a second or a third round pick for Hendrickson.
So if I'm the Raiders, I'm giving them a second round pick right fucking now and putting them on the other side of Max Crosby. And I'm terrorizing people.
Yeah, him and Max. Like,
by the way, Max, congratulations.
Yeah. Max Crosby, talked about that. Highest paid non-quarterback NFL history. 91 million guaranteed, man. Oh boy. Man. Well, Matt, let's move forward here and discuss some more topics across the NFL, and then we'll get into some college. Matt, the Jaguars are cleaning house with their 34-year-old GM, James Gladstone. They've traded Christian Kirk to the Texans for a 7th-round pick. They've cut Evan Ingram. Mitch Morse retired. And then they also cut Devin Duvernay and Josh Reynolds and Ronald Darby as well. I didn't see that. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on the Jaguars cleaning house right before free agency next week?
Well, they're not a good team, so this makes sense. But also, this is what happens when you pay your quarterback $55 million a year. You got to make space.
Yes, it's true.
And they're pretty much accepting the fact that they've got a first-year head coach who's going to try and figure out with their quarterback. And they're telling Trevor Lawrence it doesn't matter if you win or lose this year. Just go play and see if you can improve because we're the Jaguars and this Duval and all that shit. It's another dumpster fire, Jacksonville. And it's too bad, because those original Jacksonville teams were so doggish. Fred Taylor and fucking all those boys, Tony Baselli and shit. I'm going to talk about Tony Baselli with Coach Gurode too, because people don't know Tony Baselli's from Fairview, and like Dre and I talked about the economy of like not letting guys like Tony Baselli leave. And I got a couple Basellis in the fucking gym. But like Jacksonville's just how long before Jacksonville's in London? 10 years.
10 years. You give it 10 years before they're the first team across overseas. That's hilarious.
Fucking Manchester Jags. The Manchester Jagoffs. Mate.
Well, we'll see with Duval. They all took Sean McVay tree, all former Rams, Liam Cohen and Gladstone. So we'll see. Matt, let's go into some college here before we talk Buffs, and our special guest, Colorado assistant line coach Andre Gurode, joins the show.
That's my ass. He's the head of line coach as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, Colorado.
Okay, well, no, let's do a hypothetical before he comes on the show because I'm not going to do it when he comes on the show. We're all sitting in an offensive line meeting room. You're a lineman. You're sitting there. We all got to dip in, fucking pack one in real quick, fucking about to watch it. I'm like, I fucked up the 4th rep of practice yesterday, and you're like, I fucked up the 10th rep. I'm like, fuck. It's all good, dog. And the lights go off, and 3 coaches walk in, and Coach Gunner starts talking, and then you're like, cool. And then Coach Dre starts talking, and you're like, lasered. So just you tell me which one's the fucking coach. That's just my ass. Next.
Okay, Colorado offensive line coach Andre Gurode.
There you go. There you go, Bailey.
Yeah, there we go. But before we talk Buffs, I got to ask you, we're going to go across college football to the North Carolina Tar Heels and Bill Belichick. And Matt, I don't know if you know this, but Jamie Collins, former NFL Pro linebacker DN for the New England Patriots with Bill Belichick, is their inside linebackers coach. What are your thoughts on Bill Belichick bringing Jamie Collins in to coach for the Tar Heels?
Well, I thought Jamie hated Bill because of the contract dispute in New England and trading him to the Browns and shit. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was when Bill was like, he was Captain Hook, and he was like, I'm trading Gronk to the Lions. And Gronk was like, I'm retired. So, look, I think that he's put together a hell of a staff. I love the fact that they're not doing the hard knocks. He thought about it, and he was like, nah, fuck that. And then no numbers on the jerseys, and everybody's got to earn it, and yada, yada, yada. I fucking dig it, man. You know what? I think North Carolina might be nice, dog. It might be in a place like Brett. I know Brett's going to take an OV there as well. Because I was like, look, that's Bill Belichick. If you don't at least go listen to him, you're fucking stupid.
Right.
So, if he can attract some really top players to Chapel Hill, North Carolina will dominate the ACC. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I think that's a very winnable conference, and Bill Belichick is certainly assembling a hell of a staff. He's got two of his sons, Brian, Steve Belichick, on the staff.
I so much more respect for him these days after he pulled the 24-year-old. I do.
You to mention it.
I know there's tons of people that think it's disgusting. I'm not one of them. I got mad respect for Bill, bro. Like, dog, that takes some balls. And you know that he's got fucking game behind that gruff fucking voice. He pulled her shit. She seems to be in love too.
Oh boy.
Oh, Billy.
But
I love all that cover too.
Oh my God. But you mentioned North Carolina wearing blank practice shirts.
He gives her breakdowns afterwards. He's like, look, I just wanted to say that in the first quarter of our session, I really liked what you did with your tongue. In the second quarter, though, 2 fingers is too many. All right. So we're moving on to the third quarter. I just really, really, really wanted to be on to the next girlfriend at that point because you're really killing me. But then in the fourth quarter, you stormed back, and I'm impressed. You really showed me something, and you're smart, tough, you're competitive. You seem to really care. And not only do you love me, but my balls are important. So just wanted to say you saved your job there in the fourth quarter. So, yeah. You got any other 24-year-old friends or anything?
That was pretty good, Matt.
On to Cincinnati.
Well, you did mention one thing about North Carolina football. They do wear blank practice jerseys, taken from a Patriots tradition. Take a listen to this.
And what color gloves we wear and all that's not
Tell me that doesn't sound
as
just like
doing your job and being responsible and accountable to your teammates and being a good teammate. And so our focus is on the team, and we're just all out there working, practicing, trying to get better. And it's coaches, players, all of us. And so it's not all about individual notoriety right now. It's about trying to put together a team.
Your thoughts on that, Matt?
My girlfriend's hotter than your girlfriend. Everyone here in college. Did you see my bitch? Yeah, hotter than yours. If you don't do a good job, not only will I bench you, but I'll steal your fucking girl. Go to practice.
You are
awesome.
I mean, there seems to be a lot of hate across social media for Bill Belichick and his 24-year-old girlfriend. But Matt,
yeah, I know that's because they can't get a 24-year-old.
I mean, I'm with it too. I have no problem with it. Like you said, he pulled her. What is he? 70?
I love the guys who are like, oh, I am a father of daughters, and it is appalling. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you'd be mad if your fucking daughter brought home Bill Belichick. She's like, look, this is my boyfriend Bill, and you're like, no shit. Hi, Bill. Yeah, you're gonna fucking kick him out. You're not gonna sit down and talk about cover one. Come on, dog. Shut the fuck up.
Insane.
I'm so glad we don't have daughters.
Yeah.
All I have to do is worry about 2 dicks. If I had a daughter, I'd have to worry about everyone's dick. That's fucking terrible. I don't want to worry about that.
That's great perspective there. But going back to Jamie Collins being coaching at North Carolina, he talked about that with TMZ Sports. I just want to show that before we moved on. Take a listen.
Another lane that I think I'll be great at, man, and that's coaching. Blessed, for the opportunity. My guy. I don't know, man. I love that dude. He loved me. Obviously, he can't get rid of me. So we'll see how that work out. But yeah, man, I'm grateful, man. I'm shocked, but I'm grateful and ready.
You played, I think.
Well, there you have it. Matt, see how we'll talk more Tar Heels as we get into spring ball here. But man, Matt, let's talk some Buffs here. Colorado has 2 Friday games now. Georgia Tech and Houston. First game of the year is a Friday game, and then going down to Houston, facing them and Willie Fritz is also a Friday game. Do you have any thoughts on them moving these games to Friday?
Friday nights for high school football, in my opinion, but there's some great Friday nights in Boulder. So I got no problem with this. It's more primetime games. I guarantee you every fucking game is on primetime because that's what it is. So hate all you want, but it's true. And, it's 2 good matchups. It's Georgia Tech, team from Atlanta, coming to Boulder to open the season. It'll be a massive draw. And then you get to go to Houston, playing a national audience in front of everybody in Texas. And it'll be nice and hot and sticky, and, the humidity will be through the roof, and everybody will be pumped up to play. So I'm all about it, man. Anytime you have the ability to be the only game on, I'm with that. Yeah,
absolutely. And like you mentioned, it'll definitely be in prime time. Can't wait to see it. Opening game against Georgia Tech. Matt, I gotta show this clip to you, and I gotta get your take on it because I think you'll have a very great perspective on it. But Chad Ochocinco was on ESPN, and he said the 2 most difficult things in life are hitting a baseball and keeping a woman happy long term. Take a listen.
The 2 most difficult things in life are hitting the baseball and keeping a woman happy long term. The 2 most difficult things in life. You hear me? Very. So the fact that
oh man, I love this show.
Do you have any thoughts?
It's true. Facts. Baseball's hard as fuck, bro. But also trying to figure out what's going on in the fucking head of a woman is like a goddamn puzzle mixed with a fucking like Rubik's Cube.
That's true. That's very
upside down in hell.
Well, that is quite the comment on First Take. You've seen a lot of different personalities. Cam Newton has been on fire, so to speak, on First Take with some of the hot takes. But Stephen A. had Ochocinco on there. Do you have any thoughts on Stephen?
Oh shit.
Stephen, you talking about Stephen A's contract? 5 years, $100 million. Yeah, it's a lot of money. Do you have any thoughts on Stephen A. and LeBron?
Yeah, LeBron was like, "Don't talk about my kid, or I'm gonna Will Smith you little bitch ass." And Stephen A. was like, "Okay, Daddy." And then he got on fucking TV this morning and did the same thing. He was like, "LeBron's my daddy. He said things to me that I can't repeat on television because I called out his son." Instead of just saying, "Hold on a minute, LeBron. The only reason your kid's in the NFL or in the NBA is because you're LeBron. If you weren't LeBron, he would be on the bench watching from the stands with the rest of the fans. And don't fucking sit here and tell me he wouldn't be. I know he's a good college player. He is not an NBA guard. Shut the fuck up."
Matt, I'm on your side on this. I'm not sitting here a Bron defender.
Everyone knows this. Everyone knows about LeBron. It makes me not like LeBron because I hope the Lakers lose because he has to play.
Because he has to play.
Think about this. They get to the finals and people get hurt. Like the bench gets depleted and he's the one that has to go in and play. And like a real, like Jaylen Brown or Tatum takes him to the fucking hole every single fucking time he gets the ball. And then he goes like 1 for 15 and gets blocked 8 times because he's, come on, dog. That's what I hope happens. And I hate the fucking Lakers, but I just hope that happens. So this experiment ends. This is not King Griffey and King Griffey Sr. Come on, dog. This is made up. This is fabricated. It's not real. It's
come on,
Fugazi Fugazi.
Don't disrespect Seattle Mariners like that.
I'm not fucking. I said it's not that, motherfucker. Listen to what I said. I think that Stephen A should have stood up for himself because he's not wrong. He's not wrong. So why are you apologizing just because you don't want to get cut off? I mean, Brian.
Well, I didn't like. Did you see his apology, Matt? Did you see his apology?
Yeah. Why are you apologizing?
Well, he was in a pink suit, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know." JB called it something on a show this morning.
I lost a lot of respect for Stephen A not standing up for himself because he's Mr. Loud. I'll say whatever I want. I'll criticize all the players. And the minute LeBron gets in his face publicly, by the way, which, to be honest with you, if they had a relationship man to man and they were boys, LeBron wouldn't have put him on front like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't think LeBron really fucking respects Stephen A at all. And I lost a ton of respect for him because he's not standing by what he said. You're apologizing because you were critical of his kid? That's bullshit. His kid can't play. Not at that level. He's a better basketball player than me. But goddamn, dog, this is the motherfucking NBA. He wouldn't be on another 12-man roster. Don't even fucking tell me he would be. You're crazy.
If his name was not Bronny James, I don't think
he would not be on a roster, dog. No way.
That's a good point.
And if Stephen A runs for president, please run for president and lose by a million.
Is that where the Democratic Party's at? They got Stephen A. Stephen A's next. Fuck. Oh man, politics. At least for them. Well, Matt, let's
run for president next.
Exactly. Well, let's get into one more Buffs topic before we have our special guest join. Coach Prime was talking with Shedeur and on a podcast, and he basically breaking down why he's getting so much hate and why people are calling him arrogant. And Matt, I think you had a good perspective on this on JB show this morning as well. But take a listen to this.
You're the only kid that hate no. Why are you the only kid in the draft potential first picks or whatever pick that they hate on? Why are you the only one?
Because you prime time.
No, because they want you to slide to their team. It's game.
Facts.
It's game. But we know the game. We Sanders, baby.
So, Matt, agree or disagree to that? I think you mentioned that this morning on JB.
People are just talking shit at this point. Anonymous sources can shampoo my crotch. I mean, that's the worst. If you're an anonymous source, you're a total bitch and a coward. Total bitch and a coward. If you're an anonymous Twitter handle, you're a total bitch and a coward. If you're an anonymous comic guy over here, you're a total bitch and a coward. Like, put your name behind it. Put your face behind what you say, motherfucker. Stand up tall. That's one of the reasons I like Shedeur so much. I love that Shedeur and Travis Hunter started their own shows to control their own narrative. I think it's smart as fuck. You don't let other people do it for you. Travis got pissed off. Everybody talking about his girl in the media and shit. Started his own show. Quit social media. Only talks about what he wants to talk about. Seems to be working out for him. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of selfish people. I think there's a lot of jealous motherfuckers. I think there's a lot of old school whites that don't like Shedeur. And I can't wait to see him tear up the NFL, bro. I think he's going to fucking dominate. So go to the Raiders and pull that swaggy shit off for about 12 years. Go to the Jets maybe and resurrect that fucking franchise. The Saints in New Orleans would love to have him. If he does fall, think about him being Pittsburgh's quarterback for 12 years. Like, it's the opportunities are endless. It's not so much if he goes second to the Browns, I still think he's successful. So haters hate, bro. That's what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely. And Coach Sapp also called this out. And I got to show you what Coach Sapp had to say about those. The anonymous NFL coach. Remember, we talked about that.
I hate him.
Take a listen to this.
Come out a quarterback coach who's not a decision maker, wants to make that call about our quarterback? Yeah. Dog, I've been working for the last 48 hours to get his name. If I get his name, oh, buddy, we're going to do a deep dive into his life. He going to wish he has never did. If you're not a decision maker, shut up. And if he doesn't understand what it is to be the baby of a family like that, he has all Bucky and Shiloh's strengths and his sister and none of their weaknesses. He's the day walker.
He's the Daywalker. Fucking A. That's a good fucking nickname for him right there. Fucking Blade, the Daywalker. He will fuck you up 24 hours a day. Yeah, I agree. And Sap, if you need somebody in the alley with you, dog, I'm an intimidating son of a bitch when I want to be. Just tell me who and we'll fucking whip his ass. Let's go. I love this shit. Fucking knuckle up.
Man, absolutely. Well, Matt, let's bring this up. This is the last, I think, one of our last talks before our special guest joins.
The Brandon Aiyuk thing. I'm going to be motherfucker. You better bring up the Brandon Aiyuk thing. I'm going to kick your ass. We'll talk about that. But this is, you sent this to me. An NFL study shows surprising quarterback stat about who gets the most calls from the refs. And so at the top, fouls drawn, Tua, Josh Allen, Bryce Young, Kyler Murray. And then you got Mahomes at 8. You sent this to me. What are your 7 calls. Tua, Bo Nix at the bottom, 0. Look who else is with him at 0, though.
It was CJ Stroud.
Like the bottom of the list, 0 fucking calls. That's crazy. I find it nuts the disparity between who actually gets calls and who doesn't. An old soft brain Tua gets the most, and he's still soft brained. So I don't know what to do with that information, really.
Soft brain. Well, I don't know. I think that this is kind of deceiving, and so to speak, because we watch Mahomes. Are you kidding me?
That's still a lot. 5 fucking calls a game is a lot. So it's not like 7 and 5 is that far off.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I'm trying to get your Brandon Aiyuk thing. I had it, but interesting stat coming out of the NFL. Well, Matt, if you had to pick a landing spot for Trey Hendrickson, where would it be and why?
The Raiders. Put him on the other side of Max Crosby. You find somebody else to play defense in Cincinnati, and they both, or in Las Vegas, excuse me. They both play hard as fuck. I think you could build a good defense around them. Pete Carroll loves fucking pass rushers. Make that happen.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, Matt, can you do me a favor?
I don't have it anymore. I don't know where it is. It's on his Instagram page.
Can you translate this for me?
All right. So this is Brandon Aiyuk's Instagram fucking post the other day. First of all, he's dressed like. Are you going duck hunting? Are you going like goose hunting or something?
Oh, interesting outfit choice.
Really interesting. And I don't have any fashion sense, so I'll shut the fuck up. But if this is fashion, then I don't want to have any fashion sense, number one. So let's see if we can translate this.
I'll let you go first. I'm mixed, but I'll let you.
If ye worth a hunting or better than emoji in another city, I'm icy, we got none tucked. Hashtag PS. What the fuck does that mean? I ain't worth 100. So is that like
if you no here I got
you. You're worth 100, like 100 stacks.
It says if you ain't it's so it's
what's
it's slang. It's like if you ain't. It's like if you ain't. So if you ain't worth 100 better than shit in another city,
okay, gotcha. So if you don't have 100 racks like Aiyuk does, then you shut the fuck up. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't think this fucking is English to me. It makes fucking no sense. But that's if I had to take my best.
What is I'm icy, lean, got none tucked? Does that mean like he's icy but his nuts are tucked? Is he pulling like the fucking Silence of the Lambs? Like, all right, fuck me. Like he's not doing that, is he? That's weird. I'm so confused about this shit. Like I respect it because obviously he's speaking in a code that I don't understand. And he's like, what if I'm the fucking stupid one? I just can't fucking understand this incredibly diverse fucking Superman language. This is incredible. I don't know what to do with it. If you ain't worth $100, it's obviously 100,000, right? Or 100 million. Did he make 100 million?
Yeah, they gave him a huge contract.
$100 fucking million for Brandon Aiyuk.
Give you Brandon Aiyuk's actual contract. To
just don't know what to do with the
4-year, $120 million contract with the 49ers.
Holy
$76
fucking
million
Christ, bro.
guaranteed.
Hey, I just don't know, like, I don't know if he's yelling at me or if he's complimenting someone. The emoji would give me the intent that he's angry, right? That's the angry face emoji.
I think it's like a cuss word. Like he's
that's
like it ain't about shit or something, you know. That's what I would guess.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep my
You
fucking
ain't worth 100 or better than shit in another city. I'm icy. I ain't got nothing.
I'm gonna plead crackerness over here and just keep my white ass out of this one.
Fair enough. I know you wanted to mention that.
Sure.
Well,
what the fuck?
Quite the first half of the show here. Let's go ahead and pay the bills. Quick commercial break. On the other side, we have our special guests and more college football and NFL discussion. If you're watching, hit that like button, subscribe, become a member of the Dungeon family. We appreciate you watching. See you in 2 minutes. Peace.
Whether it's offensive linemen as they work combos and double teams and also pass, pro, and punch, I think the unique physicality of this is outstanding. So much so that you can use it for your shield on punt team or as you rush in the shield. There's so many different ways that we're using it. We get better a little bit every single day, and I just wanted to say thank you because I hadn't ever thought of this, and when I saw it, it made total sense, and we're doing a great job with it. So thank you, man. Go Big Red. What this has done for us is it's allowed us to, because of the surface area, because of its firm nature, I can still strike against another player and have to use that punch just like you do on a sled. At the same time, have to time my punch because it could move. I can teach defensive linemen how to handle double teams because they can feel pressure. We can simulate contact in a safe environment in non-contact times because of this unique bag.
Welcome down here to the Lab 60 Football Academy, 60 Strength and Fitness. I am your owner and operator, Matt McChesney. I just wanted to let everybody know that 60 is now on Cameo. You can go on Cameo and request any tips for training, any offensive line, defensive line tips, recruiting tips. I get so many inquiries in my inbox on a daily basis about tips and can you look at my film and can you do this? Can you break down something for me? I'd love to. All right? It's like the Joker said, my man, right here. If you're good at something, never do it for free. So Cameo is now your bridge to 60 Football Academy. Go in, request what you want, tips, suggestions, recruiting, film, and we will make sure that you get the absolute best from the best. So check out 60 on Cameo at 60 Academy. Cameo, 60 Academy. Cameo, 60 Academy.
And we're back in the second half of the show. We got a huge second half of the show here. Our special guest is here and can't wait to discuss so much with him. Colorado offensive line coach, 11-year NFL veteran, Andre Gurode joins the show. Let's go ahead and bring him in. Thank you for joining. How you doing, man?
I appreciate it, man. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was coming across clean and clear, man. It's an honor to be on the show. Honor to be on the show. Honor to be here talking to you guys. Let's talk some football and let's get into it. What's going on?
Thank you so much for coming on the show. We know you're a busy man. It's Friday afternoon here on 0 to 60. This is special out here for everybody in the Dunce family over here. Make sure you like and subscribe. All right, Dre. So first and foremost, we got to introduce you to everybody and you know, tell a little backstory. Dre, personally, is the best offensive lineman I've ever played against. And
don't you believe it?
You better believe it. We butted heads many a times. You know, him and Victor Rogers and all those guys in 01, you know, if you didn't bring your lunch pail to practice every day, then I'm telling you, they'd eat your lunch. So, you know, it's being part of one of the best offensive lines in the history of the University of Colorado back in the day, now being the offensive line coach there after an extensive and illustrious pro career, being a 2-time All-Pro and 5-time Pro Bowler. It's great to have you back home, number one, brother. So I know everybody's pumped in the chat and in Buffalo country that you are home. Just talk about what it feels like to be back in that building, man, and walking around, and you walk into the indoor and your big ass is on the wall, and like just reflect a little bit on that journey back to Boulder.
I guess I will say that it is a little surreal to be back home. You know, when you're in it, you're not thinking about life after college football. You know, get what I'm saying? Your college career, you're never thinking that it's going to come full circle, and it has come full circle, and it's beautiful. And so to see the school, to understand what we went through back in the day, to get to this point and to watch these guys have success, it's amazing. And so, you know, you walk in the building, you see the picture, and the only thing that I can think is I feel like I did what I was supposed to do. And I didn't do anything special because the guys that I did it with, they made me a great player. And so all the guys around me deserve to be up on that wall. All the guys that put their hands in the dirt, all the guys that sweated, all the guys that had broken bones, torn ligaments. Like, it's a representation of all the guys that I played with, that we went through it and we earned it. We got it out the mud when we were in school. So it's just an honor to be back.
And you know, not to dwell too much on the past before we get into the future, but I wanted to reflect on one thing that, you know, we were sitting in my office the other day talking shop, and my gym is it's like a museum almost. We've got stuff everywhere. The jerseys everywhere, a bunch of memorabilia. And it got me thinking about November 26th in 2000 in Lincoln, where, you know, Dre and I were part of a team where we were 3-7. We lost to our rival Nebraska in Lincoln on a 50-yard field goal to end the game. And I remember the pain in the locker room after that game. And it spawned a great season the next year where, you know, Dre and Mike Lewis and, you know, all those seniors got to go out on top, beating Nebraska 62-36 and going to the Big 12 title game. And we know what happened after that. When you
wait. I would challenge you and say you're missing something. You're missing our sophomore year when we took them to overtime and we lost in overtime. And so it was back-to-back years of we can beat them. Like we owe them an ass whooping, and we know that we can beat them, but we had to figure out, we had to stop the mistakes that we were making so that we could win the game.
But in 98, you were a freshman, right? That was you and DG, and that was the –
That's our redshirt. No, that was a redshirt freshman year. So I would say
97, 98, 99, those were all like one-score games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were doing ass whooping, that's for damn sure, especially after the 2000 game. I remember sitting in the stands as a senior in high school in the 99 game, and when Jeremy missed that kick, it was like it was just everything came out of the stadium. But when you walk back into that place now, knowing how great it can be from a physical standpoint, and we've got a team that just threw the ball for 4,000 yards and a first-round draft pick at quarterback and some of the best skill players I've ever seen outside. But we couldn't run the ball. So what kind of challenge does that present for you to walk in and go, okay, we're 9-4, we're rolling, we've got great recruits and great personnel everywhere. Now, if you can instill that Andre Gurode mentality into the guys up front, how good do you think we can be, bro? Because I think we can be real good.
Well, what I would say is that as an offensive lineman, one of the things that you absolutely love to do is run the ball. And what we've been doing in developing the mindset with these guys, with Coach Gunner, Coach Grant, George, myself, we've been working on developing that mindset because we know for a fact that the games are going to be different this year. Now you're going to depend on what we do up front on the offensive side and defensive side. So we have to work to create an atmosphere where it's iron sharpening iron. Let's create situations where you got to fight and get yourself out. Let's pull together because once the season starts in September, it's us against everybody. And so we're trying to work to get the guys' mindset an understanding of how to approach the game, how to practice, how to be a pro and take it to the next level on the offensive line.
And Jordan Seaton, you've been around some great players in your past, obviously with the Cowboys and your illustrious pro career. But talk about Jordan Seaton, man. I watched that kid develop and play going in now his sophomore year and really turning into a man. Just elaborate on Big Man and how good he looks and the leadership that you see from him out there on the field.
He's definitely someone who loves the game of football. He loves getting better. He loves to challenge himself. He loves looking at different things that he can do to improve his game. And so from the onset of meeting the young man, we've talked about areas that he needs to improve, how I looked at it, how he sees it. And he's one of the first guys in the building. He's also one of the guys that he's going to do the extra work by himself. And pull everybody else along with him when we walk off the field. So he's always looking for another challenge and something to do better.
And I know you walked in and went straight in the film room because I just know you. Watching that group last year, I thought they did a lot of really good things given the opportunity to run the football. With so many of them coming back and the competition that brews in the room, what's the one thing you want to see out of that group just as you push forward into winter conditioning and spring ball?
You know what? I'm going to make it real simple. The one thing we want to see out of people, we want to see people fight. We want to see you. We want to see you strain. We want to see you in situations. We want to see you run off the ball. We want to see you bang your head on the goalpost. We want to see physical play, and that's what we're trying to demand out of the guys.
And look, it's one thing to hear it from somebody, but I want people to understand no one played more physical than 6'5". I remember when I was a sophomore, I was playing defensive end. We're doing inside run. Bates stepped down. I went straight up the field like a dumbass. Dre pulled and hit me in the ear hole and like, whop, and just kind of laid on me. And I was like, ugh. I'll tell you, I never not read my key again. I was reading that key like it was Braille, dog. So physical football play is something that is bred in Boulder. Bailey, I don't want to do all the talking, so I know you got a question or two, so get in there with Dre.
Oh, absolutely. I want to ask you more about the run game. Colorado hired another Hall of Famer, Marshall Faulk, as the running back coach. What do you think? What are the impact you think he'll have on that running back room and then the running game in general? Go ahead.
I will tell you this: the first thing that Marshall Faulk wanted to do, and I call him Mr. Faulk. I don't even call him Marshall. I just call him Mr. Faulk. Just give him all respect from the beginning. Absolutely. Well, the first thing he said to me was, "Hey, Andre, does the offensive line and running backs meet together? We're going to figure out a way so that everybody's on the same page. We're going to get the group together because we need to run the ball better." And that was his first statement when he walked in. So I think Marshall brings a level of experience, a level of professionalism to the game, and I think it's going to be beneficial for all the running backs.
When you sit in that meeting room, I mean, that big grand table in the big meeting room, and everyone's in there, and Coach Prime's at the head of it, do you just look around the room and you're like, damn, we got dudes on this coaching staff. We can put together a 9-on-7 team right damn now.
I will tell you that Coach Prime has assembled the right group of men that will lead and develop the players on the field, and he expects the most out of them. So he's constantly pushing on us to improve and do better and get guys ready. And so you got to rise to the occasion. So it's pretty intense, but it's also rewarding because it's pushing everybody to be better.
All right, so I wanted to get your opinion on this. Shedeur Sanders, obviously there's a lot of different news on him out there. You got to watch as a fan just like we did the last 2 years, and him come in and resurrect our program and get us back to 9-4 last year, playing in the Alamo Bowl. Very, very good, respectable season. Travis wins the Heisman, obviously a monumental year in the history of Colorado football. What's your opinion of Shedeur just as a player, number one? And then number two, why so much hate and discontent towards him?
When you talk about the things that you have done to the world, certain people take that as offensive. They want you to be able to move throughout whatever you do and let your actions speak. Well, Shedeur's let his actions speak for himself, but he's also told people what he's done. He's very confident in what he's done. We can look at the track record of what he's done. He's not bragging on himself. He's actually telling you what he's done. He handles business. He's on time. He tries to structure everything. He's a very business savvy young man and tries to organize and do things that will make him better. So the knock against him, I feel like, is a little unfair, especially since you should take time to get to know the guy. Don't make a general assumption about the guy before every meeting, sitting down with him, finding out how he breaks down film, finding out what he brings to practice and what he wants to do, finding out that this guy really is a winner. And because he's a winner, you probably want him on your team.
So where would you just, if you're playing GM right now, where would you take Shedeur in that top 10 picks?
If I'm a GM and I got a pick in the top of the round, and I need a quarterback, why would I look past him?
Yeah, and that's what we don't understand either. The anonymous, I mean, you had to deal with this obviously at the combine and in your career. The anonymous coach and scout that comes out and criticizes a player, especially a quarterback. I'm not a big fan of the anonymous quote. How do you feel about people that do things from an anonymous standpoint and have a big mouth?
It's like it would come off as, I have something to say, but I don't want you to know that I said it.
Yeah.
Then why would you say it in the first place? If you have something to say, then stand behind it and say that you said it. And then we can address the situation and like grown people and discuss it and resolve it. But don't say that you have something to say, but don't mention my name because I don't want to make anybody mad. It makes no sense.
Bailey?
Absolutely. And I wanted to ask you about another Colorado top prospect in the NFL, Travis Hunter. Obviously, he's a unicorn, phenomenal player. There's a lot of noise, people saying, oh, he can't play both ways. He can't play wide receiver and corner. How do you see him headed into the NFL, and how do you project him? And if there's a team that you think is good for him, do any thoughts?
If I were to project him, I would say that if he started on either side of the ball, there's a package that's going to be developed for him to play on the opposite side as well. So that's how you break that down. If he's an offensive player, you put a package together where he can play some defensive plays. If he's a defensive player and you draft him as that, you put a package together for him to play some offensive plays. So there's ways that athletes like that are dynamic and explosive to be used. You figure out how to do it. And the NFL is about winning games. So if I'm a coach and I draft Travis on defense or offense, I want him on the field at all times if he's a difference maker. And he's proven to be a difference maker. So you put a package together, get him on the field and let him play.
Dre, throughout your time in the NFL, who's the best defensive lineman you had to battle against routinely?
That's a great question, but I probably would say John Randall.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that was a pretty difficult game. Like fast, quick, strong. He's able to anticipate what you got to do. Short, play with great leverage. It was the battle.
John Randall, man, that's one hell of a draw right there. Yeah, John Randall's bad man, first ballot Hall of Famer. All right, I love that answer. That's fantastic. Colorado offensive line coach Andre Gurode joining us here on 0 to 60. A couple more questions for Big Dre before we get him out of here on this Friday afternoon. Remember, go like and subscribe. The super chats and subs are open. We appreciate everybody in the comments. Anybody in the comments that have any good, relevant questions that aren't like you just drooling on the microphone, we'd love to get a question or two for Coach Gurode. My last one here is pretty simple. Now, obviously, we do it on at 6-0, and we got a big football camp coming up here with Derek Wolf, the trench camp that will be filmed, and if coaches can't come to it, you'll get all the film on it. But we got some really good players in the room. Zane D'Souza, the big tight end from Loveland's coming in from 6-0 this year. He'll be there as a tight end for you guys, and I truly think that Zane at 6'7", like 260. Wait until you see this kid move. If he has stone hands, he would be an incredibly good right tackle, and I've been on his ass about this since the day he walked in. So it's kind of funny and also not. And then, you guys have offered Breck, Cool J, who was on the show Wednesday, and Deacon Schmidt up at Windsor. How how important, because I know that we talked about the Colorado kids the other day, how important is it to keep, the top 2 or 3 Colorado-born guys, especially in the trench at home, in your opinion?
Well, it's always been important for the University of Colorado to have a presence in the state of Colorado. And so you want to make it to where the top guys come to the University of Colorado. Same thing that they would do at the University of Texas. They're trying to make sure they get the top guys, and only the top guys get offered. So it becomes a draw for when you get to the school and you get there, it's some of the best athletes around. So I think that you keep that presence, you take the best guys in the area, the guys that you can develop, and they turn into amazing players. And that's what we're trying to do.
Absolutely.
Bailey, you got another question, or are we good?
Absolutely. Just one more question for me. As you guys just finished up winter workouts and you guys are headed into spring ball, what are some of the things you're looking forward to and your expectations for that?
I can tell you this, and it sounds very cliche. I'm ready to hear the sound of pads cracking. That's what I'm looking forward to. And so when I hear the sounds of pads cracking, that lets me know the spring is here. That's what I want to hear.
Absolutely.
All right, and we'll give you one question here from the chat. People jumping in, very, love the show. Glad that we're doing this. This is really the only place you can get this kind of information out here in the Colorado sphere. Let's see here. All right, right off the bat, I got to throw this one back in here if we can find it. But T. Wood says, "What's up?" Skull Block, what's up? Happy birthday.
T. Wood.
It was Coach Dre's birthday yesterday. What are you, like 25, 26? Looking spry, looking young.
47. So
47.
I'm blessed to be alive for 47. So it's been a great life.
That's awesome, man. So I saw this one, but you don't really have to rile off the 3. Where the hell is it, Bailey?
Which one?
Top, there it is. Nope, that's the wrong one.
There you go.
There it is. Top 3 goals for your offensive line this year, moving into spring ball. What are the top 3 things you want to see before we get you out of here on this great Friday?
Great question. Develop a mindset of physicality, okay? Run off the ball and really set the tempo for the offensive line. And thirdly, develop depth and mindset to play this game of football.
Well, folks, great interview. Dre, thank you so much for coming on the show. That was awesome. We'll definitely have you on again as we get closer to.
You got to come back. I got to come back.
100%. Hey, we got 2 games on Friday night. One of them's going back to Houston down there in the heat. How hot you think it's going to be Friday night on September 12th, for God's sakes?
Yeah. It's the 12th.
Hot. Yeah, real hot. All right, brother. You have a great day. We'll talk soon, and stay on them boys up there.
I will, man. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you guys later.
Peace.
Take care. Andre Gurode, Colorado's offensive line coach, 11-year NFL veteran. I can't thank him enough for joining the show, Matt. Hell of an interview.
And no offense, Roberto Hicks. I'm not asking him about business that him and I are discussing through my business. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. But Matt, great interview.
Back to the vest. I mean, when the business is done, you will know.
Yeah, absolutely. But man, looking forward to next week. Colorado getting ready for spring ball. He's ready to see pads cracking, as you said. Can't wait to see that and discuss that here on 0 to 60 next week.
Damn. Sorry, I didn't see your question, homie.
Yes. King David Cartel, we appreciate you watching and being a member of the Legend family.
You don't have to call yourself
we can't make everybody happy, and that's life. So
just didn't see it. You're good.
Yeah, but Matt, hell of a show on this fine Friday. Can't wait to be back Monday. We'll discuss Colorado spring ball, and as you know, college spring ball across the NFL or college football is full go. Who knows what happens this weekend? I'm sure there's going to be some NFL trade action, rumors, something to discuss. And I'm sure Matt's going to send me some sort of crazy video to react to as well. But Matt, any closing thoughts before we get out of here on this fine Friday?
No, I got to go pick up my kid from school. My other kid, I had to pick him up early today because the school caught on fire. What the fuck?
That's crazy.
So, yeah, that's crazy. But other than that, have yourself a great weekend, and we'll be back Monday ready to rock.
Well, T's and peace to the McChesneys. We'll see you guys on Monday. Enjoy the show. Hit that like button, subscribe, and become a member. See you next week. Peace.